not the ordinary kind of child, you know. I used to spend mostly of my time in front of a TV watching cartoons. Hanna-Barbera cartoons, you know, United States cartoons. So I used to watch the cartoons and copy them and create my own characters, you know. Sometimes I gave up on playing with my friends, playing football in the street, this kind of things, only to spend hours long in front of TV copying cartoons. At first, as a way of defying the authority of my parents, I never was too, you know, obedient, you know, in the school, and, you know, I had problems in the school with teachers, everything because the authority. I think I always refuse authority. And I think it will be natural to reflect this opinion on my cartoons ahead, you know. And when I grow up, this problem with authority was converted in cartoons against the establishment, I think. When I started to work for trade union leftist papers, I made cartoons to illustrate articles of these newspapers. I started to work for them at first, not for a matter of ideology, you know. Of course, I had some sympathy because my anti-authoritarian mindset. But I started to work for them because I didn't have any space in mainstream media, you know. The only alternative for me was working for the trade union papers. So until 1997, my relation with the leftist press was merely professional. But after watching a documentary about the Zapatista movement in Chiapas, I start to produce cartoons about and for them, and I realized the nature of political cartooning. So I think in that time I became a real political cartooning. It was not only for illustrating articles anymore, but to support causes. It was the invitation by a Palestinian NGO for going to the West Bank. After I made a cartoon for them with Jewish settlers shooting in the back of Palestinian, stop the hunting season, stop the killing of Palestinians. I made this cartoon, I sent to that NGO, and they invite me to go to West Bank to see for myself. So I think that's how my activism, online activism, let's say, artistic activism started. I spent 15 days there. I talked to ordinary people in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, with the Jewish settlers, Palestinian militants. I talked to everyone to get a better picture of the situation. After this time, the time I spent there, I become a supporter of Palestinian cause. I decide to put my art at the service of Palestinians. This support is not because I'm not Palestinian. Okay, my grandfather was Lebanese, but I didn't know him. He passed away before I could meet him. And my grandfather didn't pass any information to my family about culture, tradition, religion, language, anything. So I cannot consider myself an Arab, you know. And my support to Palestinians has nothing to do with my roots, you know, with my grandfather. It's about solidarity with people. That's why I made cartoons on behalf of the Mapuche in Chile, or the activists in Greece, or here in Ireland, you know, about the prisoners, the police brutality in Brazil, this kind of stuff. So I think we need to bring back the meaning of the word solidarity. So I believe in Che Guevara's principle of internationalism. You know, that's why I'm always supporting causes, the Kurds in Turkey. So Palestine cause is another cause. The Egyptians, you know, I have many Egyptian friends because I made cartoons for the Arab Spring, you know, and Bahrain too. But I must confess, Palestine had something special, you know. That's why I used to say my support for Palestine is no longer political or social, but personal. You know, it's a personal issue for me. In total, I spent 5 days here. During these days, I consider as if I had a lesson, history lesson, you know, about the situation here, you know. If it's far better than reading any book or watching any movie, you know, going to the cemeteries and seeing the tombs of the martyrs, talking to families of martyrs, going to monuments, memorials, and talk to people, listening from people, visiting loyalist areas, visiting Republican areas. So I'm very glad to be here. I'm very glad to you too, to all people who treat me so well here. And for me, it's a great honor to have the opportunity not only to be here, but also painting walls, you know. Yesterday, I was in Falls Road, and I had the opportunity to have one of my cartoons convert into a mural by a very well-known mural artist, Danny D. And for me, it was one of the greatest honor I had in my career as a cartoonist and as a human being, to have my work painted in a wall in Belfast. And in Derry, I was there too, in that site where the Bourgeoisie massacre took place, you know. And I talked to Linda Nash. She lost one brother killed, murder in that massacre, the Bloody Sun massacre. So for me, it's something I will never forget, believe me. I will never forget. I compare my days here to my days in Palestine. It was so strong and deep, you know. I will keep these images for forever. Get back to home and think about the moments I spent here. And who knows, to get back someday soon. If the customs allow me. The immigrants allow me.
Well, listen, man, it's been a pleasure having you, and I think, you know, you've been an inspiration to a lot of people here, man.
No, in fact, you are the inspiration. This place is inspirational. Sorry for my pronunciation. My English is not so good. But this place itself is an inspiration for everyone who believes in anti-colonial struggle, you know. I think we Brazilians have a lot of things to learn from you, Irish, from Palestinians, from Egyptians. Sometimes I think I live in a country where mostly of people are in coma, you know, in comatose, waiting for God sending things, expecting problems to be solved by the government or by God, you know. So I will be back to Brazil very touched and with more knowledge about resistance, you know.